let us begin our first hybrid talk session, and basically Beyond Rooms 2022, a holistic approach to hotel marketing. I'm going to start by letting you know the agenda for today. So our agenda for today begins with welcome remarks by me. My name is Rachel Lai, and I'm basically the founder of Karma Marketing and the reason why we're all here today. After that, we're basically going to have an introduction to holistic marketing and wellness by our first speaker, Nadzirah Hashim from Wavemakers. And then our second speaker will give us a talk about guest mindset and hotel priorities, which will be featured by Suwamana Wahyu from Dijiwa Sanctuaries. And then our third speaker will be Dewa from Pulau projects, who will be giving us insights about people management, which is all interesting. Finally, we're going to wrap up with a quick roundtable discussion. So you can basically submit your questions, your answers, and we'll basically give you further instructions later. And then we'll have our closing remarks, and we hope to finish off by 6 p.m. today. So thank you so much for being here again. And next, let's start out by me introducing to you who we are. So we are Karma Marketing, and we're basically a not-for-profit initiative that is powered by Wavemakers.co. And I'll let you know a little bit about who Wavemakers is later. Some of you might be wondering, like, why we exist. Well, the concept of Karma Marketing is basically a union between two concepts, which is Karma Yoga, which essentially means the discipline of unselfish action, and marketing, which means the activity for creating and exchanging offerings that have value for society. Our intention to exist is to empower, and I'll get to that a little bit later. So if you think about these both philosophies, we basically want to achieve a sense of unity and connectivity, right? And our methods are basically first one, holistic development. So through Karma Marketing, we intend to create a safe space that facilitates growth through the concept of holistic development in 4 aspects, which is the intellectual, the emotional, the social, and the physical. We basically believe in the process of learning through self-actualization. And by doing the inner work within all ourselves, basically we can transmit this goodness to the people around us. The second method for empowerment is circular kindness. Circular kindness is basically the concept of having you move with purpose and to navigate intentionally. What it means is we're all capable of kind acts in our own ways. And more importantly, when we do acts of service, how do we become selfless? And the meaning of selfless is to basically to be able to take actions without having expectations in return. I'll get to that later. So the concept of being able to do acts of service without attachment is basically based on the philosophy that every action creates direction. And whatever act that you do today, from why we created this event, why you're attending this, why you invited the people, or why our speakers are going to share what they're sharing, we believe that every single act here today is going to trigger some sort of movement, which is subject to interpretation, which we'll all only discover after today's event. So in a nutshell, my question to you today, whether you're here or online, is what are the kind of actions are you going to take after today's session? This is really up to you to explore and discover. The purpose of our union today is really to share and learn from each other. A mindfulness knowledge sharing session is a gathering in the present moment. Whether we're online or offline, we're all here right now. While we're going to observe, acknowledge, and accept the insights that are about to be imparted onto you today. Next. So I'm going to begin by getting all of you to join a little icebreaker. So if you could just use your mobiles right now and scan this QR code, or alternatively, you can also head to slido.com and use the keyword #BeyondRooms2022. And I'm going to give you about 10 seconds to do this right now. Can I get a thumbs up if you have logged in? Not yet. Let's get a thumbs up from our online friends as well. Are we in? Thumbs up. All right. Udah? Cool. All right. Thank you so much. Now that we've all logged into Slido, let us begin with our first question. I would love to know, where are you joining us from? You could basically list your city. I don't know why there's a double question here, but in a nutshell, tell us where you're located right now. You've got 20 seconds to log in your answers. Manado, Indonesia. Nice. Hello, people from Manado. Bali, Indonesia, obviously, the ones who are all here. Lovely. Kuala Lumpur. Shout out to people in Kuala Lumpur. Philippines, baby. People from Philippines as well. Surabaya. Awesome. And a lot from Indonesia. Thank you so much. Good to know that a majority of us are in Indonesia right now. Next question. All right. Let's talk about how you're feeling right now. Describe your mood using one emoji. You got 20 seconds to submit your mood. Oh, I see some people are happy. Some people feel loved. Some people are giving like a cute kiss. Some people are a little bit concerned. Some people are excited. Some people are doing CrossFit. That's nice. There are some leaves falling. Some people are grateful. Sunflower, thank you so much. Lots of love. There's even a cowboy. All right, lots of happy signs. Some people are celebrating. Some people are doing this sign. So thank you. I would like to believe that we're all in a good mood right now. Lots of fire. Sweet. Thank you so much. All right. Thanks everyone for sharing your mood. I think we're all kind of like synchronizing. So I'm really happy to know that. Last but not least, just a quick question. Do you think holistic approaches are important to hotel management and marketing? Oh, that is a lot of yes. Not sure what it means? That's okay. This is exactly why we're here today. We're basically going to unpack what holistic approaches are about and what it could mean for you, for those who are working in the hospitality industry. I'm happy to know that no one thinks no. That's great. Cool. All right. So that's our icebreaker. Let us move on now to our first part of the series. So as we basically unpack the topic of today, which is a holistic approach to hotel marketing, I figured that it was really important for us to kind of like establish the base and the fundamentals, right? What is holistic marketing? I mean, it sounds like a lot, but is it? I mean, I think we all recognize the word holistic and marketing separately, but do we really understand the foundation of what is that together? So for our first session, I would really like to introduce you to our first speaker, Nadzirah Hashim. She is the founder of a regional marketing agency, Wavemakers, and she's a political graduate who found passion in data-driven marketing for hospitality, tech, and lifestyle brands. After strategizing for brands like Vinted, Luxola, ClassPass, Aesop, Nimbly, she has been consulting and mentoring remotely for businesses since 2016. Today, she is here to impart her knowledge on the concept of holistic marketing. So let's give us a round of applause for our first speaker, Nadzirah, to the stage.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming by. For those of you who drove all the way from Nusa Dua, Sanur, and everywhere else, even Jimbaran or Ubud, thank you so much for attending. And of course, to our live audience online, thanks for tuning in. Really excited to share our insights with you. So a little bit about myself. I'm the CEO and marketing strategist at Wavemakers. And What we do is we provide services in marketing as well as do training for businesses who are looking to create better synergies within their team, not only in marketing, but also marketing communications and interdepartment collaboration, so that marketing in itself is not just one silo, it's actually the whole company. And that's exactly what holistic marketing kind of wants to do, actually. So we're going to start exploring what that means for some of you who weren't sure. Next. So again, my topic for today is holistic marketing, and really just diving a little bit deeper on how hotels can do it. But I think it doesn't necessarily just apply to hotels, because brands like Apple, Coca-Cola are all doing these kinds of marketing strategies. And it really is more integrated and more long-term, and definitely more impactful for your business as a whole. So let's dive a little bit deeper. We'll be talking about the definitions and why does it matter, as well as how do you begin this journey. Next. So again, I know I heard some of you not really sure what it means, but I hope that this session will give you a bit more clarity, because in essence, holistic marketing recognizes that everything matters. So think of yourself as a house, and the house is a representation of the organization. Now, in order for a house to function, you need the pipes, you need the windows, you need the bedrooms, you need everything that comes together to create a beautiful house. But without functioning in a way that isn't siloed, if you function in a way that is siloed, at the end of the day, that's not going to make the house fully functional. So a good house is actually all interconnected, and it's built in such a way whereby the spaces are functional. So think of that in the organization perspective, because holistic marketing cares about everything in the house. So whether you're a department from sales, marketing, finance, human resources, the way holistic marketing operates is that no employee, no stakeholder or even your customers are not thought of as a piece for marketing. Next. So there are 4 components that we work on in holistic marketing. First of all, there's integrated marketing, and then relationship marketing, internal marketing, and societal marketing. What does that all mean? We'll jump right into it. Thanks. So in integrated marketing, I think a lot of you who are already in marketing will understand what this means. This essentially is about making sure that you're in the right channels for your audience. And that could be in social media. It could be email marketing. It could be your website, on television and things like that. And what that means, though, in the holistic marketing perspective, is that when you're planning to deliver a message to your target audience, the message is seamless and it is actually connected to all the different channels. So say like Apple, they were going to launch the iPhone 13 recently, right? Now, if they had created a strategy where one of the channels was not communicating the key message that maybe iPhone 13 is the best, though many would say it's not, essentially that messaging, if someone wrote otherwise, means that the marketing plan didn't fall through as well as it could. Now think of yourself as a business. How many times have you noticed maybe one channel was not being utilized to communicate correctly to your audience, and then you're realizing that the other channel is communicating it correctly? In holistic marketing, we ensure that integrated marketing ensures the messaging is 100% clear for people to actually understand what your business is all about. Next. In relationship marketing, this is really about your key partners, your stakeholders, the people that are outside that don't directly work with your company. So as a hotel, it could be your vendors, it could be your suppliers. Why we care about relationship marketing is because you don't realize that your supplier may talk about you in a better way if you create an appreciation campaign for them, whereby you sent them a little gift or vouchers that showcases that you care about the people that you work with. And so in relationship marketing, this is what we try to do as a whole. And it is part of the holistic marketing component, because you can't survive as a business without building those relationships with your key partners. So that's why relationship marketing is part of the components. Next. There's also internal marketing. So internal marketing is so fundamental because this is your employees we're talking about. So imagine the people you work with. If you're a business owner or a GM of a hotel, you've got to make sure that your entire team buys into your hotel big picture, whatever that is, right? So if you're not giving out that message to your employees to feel empowered through motivation, workshops, or trainings, then at the end of the day, they might fall off the cracks and decide, I don't feel loyal to your brand. I don't feel loyal to this hotel. So for big hotels in general, they spend a lot of time training their teams, and even small ones. That's actually part of a component in internal marketing, making sure that the employee feels like they can be an advocate for the brand themselves. I'm sure you've seen this for like Tesla, brands like even Apple, whether good or bad press, you'll hear things about it. So that's really important in internal marketing, and you would definitely benefit from that. And we'll see later how. Next, last but not least, we know we're going through, I'm sure everybody realizes, don't know why Bali is raining right now. It's not the time of the year where it usually rains, but the weather has been very strange. And that's because climate change is really happening. And for that reason, holistic marketing really takes into the component of societal marketing. So societal marketing is whereby the marketers really believe in how do we communicate that the business itself cares about society in the legal, the environmental, the community aspect, because without that, we're basically missing out on the fact that we don't care about the world. Like, how can a brand be like that, right? In this day and age, a brand needs to care about the world because you're part of the ecosystem. So holistic marketing ensures that the brand takes responsibility of the actual society that they surround themselves in. So in this case, if you're in Bali, we need to care about the rivers and the trash and the people, the culture, So that's very important for any hotel that is located anywhere around the world. Next. So at the end of the day, the question is, how does this actually apply to a hotel? I'm sure many of you have seen these different components and probably say, yeah, we do that in our company. And if you do, fantastic. Maybe you haven't applied fully the other components of it, or you're not sure how it goes, but there's definitely a way into that. So this is what we've learned, how holistic marketing can apply to hotels. Next. So one thing's for sure, business longevity really works in holistic marketing. Why or how? On your right, what you see here is a little data that we gathered recently, which is just to show you a share of voice of Accor, Hilton, and Marriott, and how people talk about them online. Now, if you focus on holistic marketing, you know that share of voice in the market is actually going to make your brand more elevated as a whole. And so with the fact that intangible assets make up about 84% of the company's market value these days compared to 50 years ago, which was only 17%, you'll realize that most companies, most hotels really, really focus on making sure that their digital footprint is visible and you can see it through these kinds of data. So imagine Marriott, Hilton, and Accor, they are making an effort, and this is specifically in Malaysia, Indo, Philippines, and Singapore. We gathered the data together in the last 30 days, and we realized that at this present moment, Hilton is winning by 1% compared to Marriott, and Accor's like at the third place. So this is something that we definitely keep tabs on as a marketing agency, because we want to make sure that we understand how our clients are positioning themselves, and we utilize holistic marketing as a thought process, because we realize that without that intangible assets value will drop. So that's why one reason is it really is going to be good for your business in the long run. Yeah. Next. The other thing that really matters is that you stay relevant. We all know that right now, post-pandemic, everyone is feeling like mental health is very important, and I 100% agree. And surprisingly, there are people out there who will Google things like wellness hotel. So in this case, we realize that holistic marketing helps you maintain relevance when you have the right set of tools and data to track the right keywords that you want to brand yourself as. So in this case, when we searched what's trending or who's searching for wellness hotel, we realized that it's highly searched globally in Germany. So a lot of Germans are looking for wellness hotels. And that's really interesting because it tells you that essentially maybe Germans care about their well-being in the summer because this was in the last 30 days. And specifically, they're looking for wellness hotel in, sorry if I butcher this, Niedersachsen, which is the lower Saxony area of Germany. And people are searching for these particular wellness hotels in these particular locations. What this really means is that if you're a hotel who's trying to position yourself as anything, in this case, wellness hotel, you've got to look into the data to understand what are they searching for and how are they searching for these things, because you want to maintain the relevance. So with a holistic marketing strategy, you're reverse engineering the data and utilizing the data to reposition yourself as a whole. Instead of just kind of assuming, you could actually use the right set of tools to create a better campaign strategy that includes everyone else in the components of holistic marketing. Next, last but not least, in the fact of the matter is holistic marketing actually increases loyalty. This is a study that was done by the Chinese and Korean university where they studied the impact of hotel customer engagement and service evaluation on customer behavior intention. So the whole idea was the study was trying to understand whether there was a direct relation between brand experience in turning towards brand loyalty and whether or not they would rebook or tell people about the experience at the hotel. And of course, no surprise, the higher the identification, meaning their relation, their feeling of relatability to the brand, the higher their enthusiasm a customer has towards the brand, the more attention they pay, the more absorption they are in the experience that they go to, as well as the interaction with the hotel, the more brand trust it builds. Now, if you're a holistic marketer, that is really powerful to know, because what that means is you would peg yourself on these 5 different components in order for you to succeed at your strategy. And on top of that, in terms of empowering your teams, internal marketing, you can utilize the service evaluation to understand how to increase service quality. How do you increase the experience of the customer to feel like, oh, I stayed at this hotel and it was so good value? How do you empower your staff to make them feel like the relationship between your guests turned out to be such good value for them that they want to trust the brand and come back? And on top of that, with customer satisfaction, the question you have to ask as a holistic marketer is, how do I feel like I was treated fairly and well in the particular venue? So all these components was a study that was done, and that it showed that the higher the score is, the more brand trust. And that means more likelihood to rebook and also to tell other people about your brand. So definitely holistic marketing will have that impact. And that's why all hotels should definitely focus on that. Next. So the question is, how do we begin this journey? And because I don't have much time, I mean, I could tell you a whole story of how to begin this journey, but as we only have less than 5 minutes left, I'm just going to say it all begins with building trust. And next. And the fact is, there's 2 components you just need to remember. First, think of holistic marketing as now your new way of thinking in how you run your organization. Second, imagine that you have the right set of tools and the processes to build a seamless customer journey in order to build trust to your customers. At the end of the day, with the right holistic marketing strategy, with the right set of tools or processes, you're bound to get your customers to feel more enticed to trust you and actually want to buy into and support your brand. So next, to summarize, I just want to say holistic marketing works for hotels because it shifts the way departments collaborate. And I think that's so important because we don't want to be working in silos anymore. I think more than anything, if we've learned through this, what happened in the last 2 years is that collaboration is what got us to succeed much faster than, say, 50 years ago. And so with that, thank you very much for my presentation. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat box on Zoom, or for the audience here, do save it for later. I think in Slido, you can do it as well. Thank you so much, guys.
All right. Thank you so much for your insights, Nadzirah. I think we're all a little bit more informed about the ideology of holistic marketing, and that may have opened up new ideas and doors in your mind, but we'll explore that a little bit later. Just keep that in a little drawer right now. So next up, we're going to introduce someone who's been in the hospitality field for a long time. Like we're talking about 22 years. It's Mr. Suwamana, Wahyu. He's the Chief Executive Officer of Dijiwa Sanctuaries. He spearheads a collective of hotel brands that provide curated, holistic experiences through hospitality, wellness, cuisine, and guest experience design. But Wahyu will be sharing his knowledge on what it takes to dig deeper into your customers' needs, as well as how to turn those findings into actionable responses within your hotel operations. Please give a warm welcome to Wahyu to the stage.
Hi, thank you, Russell. Thank you, Nadzirah. It's really blow up my mind on holistic marketing, basically. And later gonna be a great discussion with all of you on how we implement it in our operations, basically. Everyone, my name is Suwamana Wahyu. I'm the founders of Dijiwa Sanctuaries. We are the hotels management company. Our responsible is to set up the hotel from technical services, pre-openings, and also to operating hotels under our brands. So today, I would like to share my experiences. I never went to college, truth to be told, you know. My higher education is senior high school. So my friends call me street hotelier because I learned from the street. I mean, that's true. That's true. That's why my appearance is not like hoteliers. I'm full of tattoos, you know. I just cut my hair. I got long hair just now. So because of this event, you know, my web told me, you know, just cut your hair. So she's the boss. So today I'm going to share the guest mindset post-COVID-19. But before that, so let's see the travel and traveler prediction in 2022. Okay. 2022 will finally be the time to branch out and make new connections. I believe you all agree, you know, all the roads are being picked up now, you know, it's super macet. You know, that's what we see here. Me from Sanur come here, you know, it takes 1 hour, 45 minutes. And I'm super happy. I never complain about that. Otherwise, COVID will coming again, you know, and that's even worse. So are you looking for your connections on your next trips? Or will you be an independent traveler? So I also have a quiz for you. The answer is yes and no. Do you plan the majority of the trips? Yes or no? Think about it. Have you traveled to a lot of countries? Yes or no? And then next, is budget more important to you than comfort? Okay. Last question, do you usually make a new friends while traveling? Okay, yes. Okay, let's see what type of traveler are you? Okay, first, you are experienced travelers. If you love to planning everything ahead, you know, I mean, you also have visited a lot of countries, you know, but you might sacrifice some luxury, but you don't mind as long as you get where you want to go. And while traveling, alone or with friends and family, you're always on the lookout for new people or to connect with. Okay, next, you are luxury travelers. If you have basically general ideas where to go, but you aren't really planning your things, okay? I mean, you don't have any issue with the budget, even though you are not travel a lot. You much rather connect with the people you are traveling with or the environment around you. You are organized travelers if you like to get the most of your trips. Pre-planning this ensure nothing get missed and you come back home with no regrets. You are savvy travelers, okay? And you always try to stick on your budget. You don't tend to travel to form new friendships, sorry. You much rather connect with the people you are traveling with or the environment around you. And last, you are social travelers if you basically have the general idea of what you want to do, and you also stick on your budgets. Whether you are traveling alone or with friends and family, you're always on the lookout for new people to reconnect with. So I shall continue. So what's cooking now? What is the hot topics in our industry? In my industry as a hoteliers, basically. There's three questions here. First, where do you think we are now in terms of recovery? Okay. Nearly 2 years after COVID-19 first detected, hospitality industry has yet to make any full recovery. You know, hotel occupancy rates and the interest to travel have fluctuated from season to season, country to countries, all impacted by government regulation, vaccine availability, and also the guest or consumer confidence and change of their mindset to travels. I think we all agree on that. Okay. But in early 2022, on this last first quarters, finally we can see the light by the end of the tunnel. Okay, we see the international traveler are start to coming back. They have more confidence to come. We see a lot of outbound traveler also start to dot it all around the globe. The international departures from the data that I harvested will hit 68% by this 2022 and will start to improve by 82% in 2023, 97% in 2024, and will coming back like pre-pandemic level in 2025. Okay. While it's likely the hotel industry will take some time to take the full recover, this little sign by early of this years at least point out to a stabilization is more welcome than topsy and turvy roller coaster that we have seen in 2022 and some part of 2021. So the next questions, what should the hospitality industry be prepared for it? While international travel is predicted to coming full recovery by 2025, we see that the market demand has shifted from long-term trends and short-term trends have emerged. After 2 years limited travels, the demand are fluctuated as well. You know, it's all impacted by government regulation and etc. that I just shared just now. So we as hoteliers, what can we do to inspire the leisure travel to heading in the next few months? How will COVID-19 to continue evolve the guest purchasing behaviors and also their lodging preferences in the next years? Okay, first and foremost, me as hotelier, based on our experiences, after I opened this company like last year, we do some acquisitions, you know. What we see, most of the products that we take over under our companies are torn up, you know, they are not in great condition. I think we need to focus on the products quality, service quality, by also focusing on 4 different indicators to run the operation in better way. You know, we need to focus on financial perspective. We need to focus on internal business process. We need to focus on the customer related. You know, we need to focus on learning and growth, as Nadzirah say, you know, on internal holistic marketing part there. You know, people are super important in our businesses. Secondly, we need to adapt on the changing on the market demand. You know, we need to be ready to capture the market demands. Of course, by looking some market indicators that are very important in our industry, like booking windows, length of stay, segmentations, geographical path, where the guest coming from. We also need to, this also include the social media and advertising, which rank becoming the most popular technology during the pandemics, based on the global global hotelier survey. I'm sorry. And also, we need also to start pairing our proactive marketing campaigns with tailored promotion and advertising through display, GDS, meta search, and etc. By doing so, our hotel will be highly visible on the channels where travelers and also travel agency who are looking and bookings in the futures. And last but not least, I think the implementations of contactless technologies and automation is now becoming standards in hotel industry. So if your hotel, our hotel, is not ready to catch up with the changes, I believe we will lose some the opportunity moving forward. And last but not least, what do the current hotel guests look for in a hotel post-pandemic? What are the guest mindset now? So we have like 12 operating hotel and projects now. We also have yachts. So after 23 over years working in this industry, I see the shifts on the guest mindsets. I can divide it into 4 type of mindset of customer that we are servicing now. I'm not quite sure what happened in your property, but I believe we will find out the similarity. First, consumer now are looking for the authentic experiences. Okay. Secondly, we can see a lot of blends on the business and leisure travelers. That's why workation are very popular nowadays. Okay. Third, because we're also running a boutique wellness property, we see that most of the guests are demand personalized travel offerings. Okay, we cannot just give them usual activities, usual standards. They demand on personalized travel offerings. And last but not least, they are more conscious on the environmental impact and on sustainability. Okay, they will even our partner wholesalers and online travel agency, they are requires, whether your hotel are implementing a sustainable way on running the operations. Otherwise, we are going to lose our visibility on that market. So I think all those checkbox are very important to understand. To responding with that, what we do as a hotel management company, from those type of customers, we finally decided to launch a series of activities that especially curated to those kind of segmentations. We call it the destinations. So we divided our activities and experiences into mindfulness living, culinary arts, couple celebrations, and also cultural experiences. Okay, let's see the key takeaway from my short presentations. First, we need to inject customer to stay top of mind. Like Nadzirah has shared just now, which is beautiful. We have like relationship marketing, integrated marketing, internal marketing, and societal marketing. While many hotels are cutting budget to preserve the cash, they might forget that marketing is more important than ever, especially during pandemic. I launching the hospitality management company during the pandemic. There's a big question mark. But I did that because I believe, we can grow through collaborations. We can grow through holistic approach on relationship marketing. Dijiwa is new brand. Nobody know. But the way I'm thinking as a founder is I need to do relationship marketing. We're working with Garuda Indonesia. Citylink, we there in day one. We there in their mileage program. Our logo is there in their website, and they are big. And during the pandemic, we believe that the main market that can support us is domestic. So, you know what? We work with one of the biggest retail company in Indonesia, Alfamart. So our hotels are in every Alfamart card holders, since last years. So it's really good to boost our visibility to the channels that we are going to target, basically. And next, we need to also re-evaluate our competitive landscapes. I'm using data-driven approach. Okay, while entering new market requires understanding and attracting new customers. I work with a lot of data, I work with third party who provide me a data. I can understand from this day to the next 12 months ahead. I know who is looking for hotel, who are searching for the flights, who are booking the hotel, who are searching for the flights that coming to our destination for the next 12 months. Each month I can see that data. This data also tell me where are they coming from, how long their length of stay, how long they are booking windows. So it help us to prepare our packages, our promotion on targeted segmentation that we want to have in our properties, because we have different property with different brands. So we cannot use the strategy of one strategy fit all, definitely cannot. I also work with a lot of looking forward data company, basically. So we know the heat map on the occupancy rate in each of our hotel location, comparing to 10 competitors for 365 days. That's beautiful. Okay, that's beautiful. So for those who are not using that technology, think about it. It's all about data-driven. Last but not least, bring health and wellness to the forefront through contactless technologies. Health and wellness practices will no longer be nice to have post-COVID. Okay, so I have 2 hotels under brand Blue Karma Dijiwa. Our concept is wellness. So even we provide like superfood, moringa, because we have a moringa plantation as well. So we try to introduce that to our clienteles, and it's of activities that we curated for our guests based on personalizations. Okay, in all of our resort we don't have any rules, because well-being is all about releasing yourself from the rules. If you come to the hotels, regular hotels, check in 12 o'clock, check in 2 o'clock, check out 12 o'clock. Your breakfast time from 6:30 to 11:30 or to 11. In all my hotels, you can have breakfast anytime you like. 2 a.m. in the morning, I don't have any issue. Okay. Even we also have a contactless registration form prior they check in, everything are there, not wasting a lot of times for that. And very easy to create it, simple apps, send it straight away, on your CTA, or call to action. It's very easy. Basically, technology can help and it's not necessarily expensive. Okay. We do a lot of ads. In the past 6 months, we do a lot of ads. So we have now like about 40,000 database. 30,000 WhatsApp number. So what we do with that? We launching push up notification CRM, customer relationship management, through WhatsApp. We call it Dijiwa Club. So people easily can log in there. Within 2 seconds, you get your card, your digital card. You get everything you need there, free upgrades, special price, and all VIP benefits. Just on the tip of your mobile phones. It's not expensive. Have programmer to help you to develop that, basically. Okay. So that's how we use the data at the Dijiwa Sanctuary. That's all from me. Thank you very much for the session. I only have 30 minutes. See you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Wahyu, for sharing that super insightful explanation to what Dijiwa Sanctuaries is doing. In fact, there's a lot of tips that Wahyu has given for any hotel establishment that are thinking to basically come into recovery. I do think that it's really amazing that they've figured out how to personalize their campaigns and basically taking advantage of technology as a way of, keeping up with all the changes that's happening. Dijiwa Club through WhatsApp, I mean, that's quite brilliant. So thank you so much for sharing that. All right, so next up, I would like to invite our last but not least speaker. His name is Dewa Putra, and he is the founder of Pulau Projects, a platform solutions for hospitality business owners and investors in Southeast Asia. So he's a familiar face in Bali's hospitality scene, and he's basically an avid creative problem solver. And he really believes in the power of people. So today he will be giving you insights on what it takes to establish a harmonious relationship with your team, as well as to apply it within a holistic management system. So please put your hands together for Pak Dewa.
Thank you so much, Rachel and Karma Marketing. So, yeah, thank you for inviting me, thank you for having me. And then thank you to all of you guys for coming. And yeah, I just wanna, and thank you for Bapak Wahyu and Nadzirah. They've been mentioning about like more into like marketing and also technology approach in hospitality, especially in a hotel. So maybe first thing first, I've seen some familiar faces here and then also some new faces. And I'd like to introduce myself. So my name is Dewa. So I was born and raised in west of Bali. And yeah, I've been working on some projects here in Bali and also abroad in Vietnam. And I'm building a restaurant and bars. So as you know, like I'm surrounded with delicious food and drinks. And yeah, I think I'm gonna talk about more into within, like inside, and then how I build my team, and then what drives me, to the business, and then I think I'm gonna share to you about my experience in industry, the challenge and the problems that I've been always seeing. It's been always in a human capital, people, either to employees, business owners, and then vendors, and then suppliers, and then partners. So I came up with this idea. I was started last year on August. And then I create this solution. We call it Pulau Projects. So to tackle all the problems and challenges that's happening in the area. And then I think next, what drives us is this is people. Number one is people. So we are. So as I mentioned to you, I've been working with different businesses before, and then also business owners. So what I've seen been always, it's been always having a problem with the people, and then now we are try to make it how to make a good people in the industry, and then product. And then number two is product. So we always looking for a better way to make a good product. So we are working very close with farmers, and then also producer, and then also artisan, and then progress. So as a human being, so we are always looking for a transformation and growth as an individual and organization. And next. And why we do this? So we aim to help people build conscious hospitality business. And by doing this, so I'm helping my team So in that way, so they can learn and grow and having a new experience. And then by that, for I think the next slide is self-awareness. So this is something that I've been practicing with my team. And I think from when the team is more self-aware, the business operates with more harmony. And when everyone understands their emotion and the things that they drive them, the better their relationship with others and the stronger the team will be. So being aware of what we do and why we do it, what's our strength and weakness, we are feeling about ourselves. This helps us manage our energy and build our emotion intelligence. It starts from self-awareness. And also the next one, I think next. So I also share to my staff or my team about human mind. So as you know, that's our daily day-to-day basis has been always driven by subconscious. And then, like for instance, like the first thing you do in the morning, are you taking your phone or are you checking yourself or are you? So that's, and then if you're not confident, that's a habit. If you're feeling shy, and also that's a habit, you know. And then now to giving this awareness to my teams, so they now are becoming more aware, and then also they know how to be more, you know, understand who they are as a person. And I think next, so as I mentioned to you, I'm talking more into more deep within. That's I also share to my staff, and this is all about the emotion in two different in the humans, you know. A is you know, the feeling that, you know, drain you and also uncomfortable and negative, you know. And then number B and B is the emotion that creates more nourishing, energized, and positive. I guess this is the feeling that, you know, that we create within, you know. It's nothing to do with outside world. So this is my approach to my team, and also I show them the exercise and practices. So I think I'm going to show to you about what I've been doing to my team, you know, the exercise that I do for my team. So maybe I'm gonna let you know, I'm gonna do like some activities, like practices. It's all about visualization. And I'm gonna ask you to have a proper seat and relax. So my presentation is very short, but yeah, I'm gonna putting back to the floor, you know, if there is any question later. So yeah, and so this is the practice that I do for my team. Maybe we do it for like 2 times a month, and just to understand how they feel, you know, about themselves, and also how can I help them to make them feel good about themselves, you know, and then to be better employee. And this is I think we need to start with the tuning, or like maybe dropping the lights a little bit dim, no? Or we can, no? Huh? So yeah, I think I'm gonna ask you guys to relax, and have you seen, I'm gonna ask you to imagine the be a human emotion. So yes, can start. Is the sound any? Okay. So I'm gonna ask you to relax here, okay? And when you inhale, your belly expands, and when you exhale, and your belly relax. And then I want you tap into your inner power that's that nourishing you, things like love and kindness and gratitude. I want you to close your eyes here. I want you to inhale, exhale. I want you to feel your cheeks relax. I want you to feel your neck relax. I want you to feel your chest relax. And inhale. I want you to focus on your breathing. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. As your body relaxes, you feel your body in peace and feel your body in love. And you feel your breathing so light now. So if there is any fear, let it go. If there is any worry, let it go. If there is any problem, let it go. So you are only dealing with the thought, but you can change your thought. Now I want you to affirm, I am good. I am love. I can do whatever I want. I am already success. I am enough. I am who I am. I accept myself. I am new person now. Wherever my body is, my mind is here. So I want you to relax, enjoy your breathing, and now you connect to yourself. You feel your body more light now. If you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes. Thank you. And yeah, this is the exercise that I do with my team, and as you know, we were starting the company in the COVID, it was super confusing, and also I think it's very tough. And we were starting with 18 people, and then now we had I think around 60 staff. So the company that we just opened through my company, the restaurant that we just opened through my company is a Yuki restaurant. It's a modern Japanese izakaya located in Canggu, Batu Bolong. If you have a time, you can come and let me know if you're planning to come. So this is that I really highlight, in a holistic approach to hospitality. It's all about people, and as you know, like, we are not Japanese, but we make a Japanese product. I believe in my people, so this is that drives us every single day. So now we are quite busy, so let me know if you're planning to come. So we are fully booked almost every single time, especially on the weekend. So yeah, I'm so proud of myself and my team. And then yeah, I think the last slide is I like the quotes from Simon Sinek. 100% our customers are people, 100% our employees are people. If you don't understand people, you don't understand business. Thank you so much. My name is Dewa.
Yes.
Yes, thank you so much to Pak Dewa for that unexpected mindfulness practice. It's very interesting to see how even Pak Wahyu was talking about just now, where like the elements of wellness and mental health is no longer separate between different parts of your business and yourself. It's all basically integrated. I mean, I think it's always been, it's just that perhaps the pandemic woke us up a little bit into having realized that it always mattered. It's just that we forgot about it. So thank you, Dewa, for sharing that practice that you typically do with your team. And I guess for everyone that's tuning in today, online as well, to those here, why not, right? Why not consider non-business, non-work activities to motivate your team that allows them to have a better understanding of themselves? Because it makes up any business or brand. Without the people, you are pretty much nothing, right? So thank you so much. I think Pak Dewa also wanted me to mention that he's been opening, different brands like Manabi Chow's, Yuki, and on the 1st of July, you're about to start with Potato Head at the Sunset Park. So he said, if you're going to put it Potato Head, just look out for Pak Dewa. That's just a little mention into his progression as a team and as a collective in Bali. And that's that. Find out what he has in store for the people and hospitality scene. Now we have come to the next part of our session, which is a roundtable discussion where we sort of dig deeper into whatever that was discussed today, as well as address whatever questions or afterthoughts that you might have on the various topics we had today. We talked about marketing, we talked about hospitality trends, we talked about ways to manage people. They're all different things, but they all come under one giant umbrella of holistic approaches. So I would like to invite our speakers back to the stage to populate these wonderful batik chairs. And we will basically begin to open up the floor here, as well as our virtual space for a short roundtable session. And like I said, if you have any questions, you just need to drop your questions on the same link that you had just now on Slido. Basically, if you have it on your mobiles already, it should be already there. And all you need to do is like write down your questions and submit them, and they will appear on our screens right now. And then we'll basically cherry pick which questions to discuss. And if you have a specific question for a specific person, please write it down and then address their names as well. Yeah, speakers, feel free to come back to these cute seats. Oh. We have some questions. I think I might need some help with the scrolling. Hello, double palms. Welcome back, speakers. That was very insightful. Thank you so much for all your presentation. So vast, so powerful. All right. I'm going to give you guys maybe another 1 minute to submit your questions, and then we will begin to look at what's... Yeah, we can start. All right. While all of you are thinking, wherever you are in your office or at home, we're going to start with the first question. With recruitment being a challenge, how can hotels empower their employees to stay loyal to the company? I think this question was for Wahyu.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is true, as far as my experiences, this is my tagline in human capital, we are not, we hire for the attitude and train for skill, basically. So attitude does matter in our industry. So on how hotel can empower their employee to stay loyal to the company. It's not all about money. Money is super important, but no. In my experiences, the things that I implement, basically, we are giving the same opportunity to our employee, to our associate, to growth. Of course, we need to set a measurement on that, We adopting the KPI based on the balance scorecard. So people have the same opportunity to grow based on their KPI and nothing subjective because it's based on balance scorecard. On financial perspective, internal business process, learning and growth, and also the customer related, Even every 6 months, they know where their gap on the expected output and on the current result they have. So to overcome that, we implementing two things, especially on people development, on learning and growth, For associates who are having a better skill, better attitudes, better knowledge, we put them on the talent pool. So we give them the opportunity to grow through IDP, individual development plan. So we have sets of activities for them from various departments. We have mentor also for them to grow themselves within the hotel itself. And we also send them out to learn and study, like to follow this kind of workshop and stuff. In return, they need to make a report for that. And that's how we retain our employee. So we understand on how to managing the, it's our frameworks, from recruitment and selection until employee retainings. Right. So those things that we do on how we empower the employee to stay loyal to the company which is not only related to money or the take-home pay.
Right. So a lot of transparency in what the company makes as a whole, as well as sharing that growth with your team as well, right?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
True,
so all the revenue, like your team members are basically working towards specific KPIs.
Exactly. Because we do working in transparent way. They know the revenue that we are achieving. They know the service charge that they will share by the end of the month, And in my era, let's say 20 years back, it's kind of taboo,
Yeah.
Because looks. Only management have the authority to see all those numbers. But now everything derives by numbers, Number cannot be lie,
Of course.
Everything are measured by the numbers. So that's why our KPI also cascading into numbers and set of a target that everybody understand and agreed upon,
Right.
So by the end of the day, they can value themselves and they know their value without we are having like deep conversation. Oh yeah, one thing also, we also implementing what we call the biofeedback. We giving feedback because we're trying to implement that. It's not easy for us as Indonesian and Balinese to have a feedback, to be frank. Yeah. But that really bring big difference in my company. Bio based on the behavior, impact, and option. So every time we're giving feedback, always stick on those three things, So everyone can really accept it with open arms and open hearts, with no emotion, no emotion involved,
Right.
I mean, it's super fair, super objectives,
Yeah. Constructive feedback.
constructive
Basically.
feedbacks,
Thank
but
you.
with option,
With option.
not only feedback.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dewa. I mean, but were you? I think that addresses the question. Let's move on now to the next question. What technology do you think is worth investing in for small hotels trying to retain customer loyalty?
Well, I think that's my partner. Hotels, Well, there's so many technology, There's so many fancy technology and they are super expensive. But there's also so many technology, like Refinit or I see just the brands, I mean, they will trust you based on number of your rooms, basically. Like the technology that, I don't say we are develop our own technology through Dijiwa, our loyalty programs, but it also comes from the ideas, looks, we have a lot of data. And who having the data can control the world. Correct? So then we creating our own CRM based on those things. It's not expensive. This is push up notifications. And I'd love to share, if you guys want to know more about that, text me, DM me.
A private setup, like a private programmer. Did you?
Yes, because it's
I
private.
see.
Because our team developed it.
Okay.
And still on beta mode,
Right.
but it worked good.
Right.
Sometimes it's up and down, but still we are looking for the better technology to support. But it works successfully. We not only can spread out the promotion and whatsoever. That's boring. It's like spamming. But we rather to share the story, what happened in the destinations. And a lot of tips also for the guests,
Right.
what the new regulations on our governments, etc. So people just can forward that as well.
Right. Okay.
So that's retain the
Right.
future customer as well.
Okay. So basically, if you don't have the resources or enough budget, you could consider basically finding like a small team of programmer to basically develop the system yourself, or basically go for bigger companies that would provide that automation technology based on subscription.
Exactly.
Because not everyone can build a system, right?
Exactly,
I mean,
exactly.
That's like you need the right talents, basically.
Exactly. And then there's many in the market basically and not expensive. They charge you on performance, they charge you on number of rooms. When we are small, then it's really doable,
Right.
to
But
implement
did you
this.
choose to build your own, basically?
And we also work with the party as well.
Okay, so you do have third parties.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. Thank you. Let's move on to the next question. At Dewa, do you think wellness should be applied as mandatory in a company? What do you do to keep them participating?
I think as we are well-being, we have to be being well, right? And by saying that, yes, wellness should be applied as mandatory in company. What do you do to keep them participate? And again, like we cannot control people, right? What we can do is to inspire them. So by giving awareness every single day. So before, like at Mano, I've been gone through, like daily staff briefing.
Yeah,
and
daily staff
also,
briefing.
Weekly meeting with, the top managers and also supervisor. And also once a month, we do some family gathering. So which is we practicing some, stretching and stuff, and then also giving them like, insight that we have to being well, as a leaders and then for sure rest is number one. And then also what you eat, you have to watch what you eat. I know that you're surrounded by like good food, but you have to balance yourself as well, and then also exercise. And then I think this kind of information that I have to mention every single day,
right?
Because it's affect to me as well. I experience anxiety and then also burnout, those kind of things. I don't want my staff and my employee having the same experience as me.
Okay.
So that's why it's reflect myself to my staff.
Right.
And I want them to feel good.
Okay,
And-
so
and-
leading by example.
For sure, yeah.
Always,
Yeah.
as well as integrating what you believe in your processes in managing the team. For example, like your daily check-ins or your monthly check-ins, you kind of like make it a part of like the staff requirement activities.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever experienced anyone who's like, oh, not sure, or like, maybe not really into, because it's quite, I mean,
I
it
think-
taps into quite
Sure.
a personal space, you know?
I guess like some people, like some stuff, they're thinking like, okay, I'm not comfortable,
Mm,
but I was becoming a role model for them, to be
Right.
honest, because like I look so scared, like, right, I'm big, I'm dark, and then why I'm so soft, you know, and then looking at like my experience, you know, from nothing to something, or from two to number three as a progress, and they feeling inspired. I
Mm.
think you can, again, like you have to understand that you cannot control
mm,
your team
right,
as what you want,
Yeah.
but you can inspire them
right.
by, you know, like giving some information with consistency,
Right.
you know. And if they feel not well, I let them go home, you know, to rest. And for instance, like we are busy restaurant, like we serving like 200 people at Yuki, like one of the staff having like, you know, panicking on something like that. And then I let them, okay, have rest and then stretching, because we're learning like biohacking, yeah. We're learning like hacking to yourself, because, okay, when you're panicking, you cannot push yourself to work. You have to rest, and then hacking or stretching or like jumping or like drinking warm water and stuff, and then you feel good and you come back to the floor again. Or if you don't feel good, you can go home resting.
Mm.
That's all.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Being able to, I think it goes back to the concept of building trust with your team.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it takes time,
Yeah.
but eventually they might follow your way. All right, let's move on. Next question, Hearts, Bali, cool. For Pak Dewa, so many, two of the same questions. How do you create safe space for your employees with the check-in, understanding that many Balinese are not familiar with confrontation? That's a big question. This taps a little bit into culture. I mean, it's different.
What does it mean?
Meaning like, you know, when you do if you say, do this activity that you did with your team, and perhaps like, maybe your Balinese team are not comfortable with it. Confrontation meaning like kind of what you said just now, where you like, it's not really part of the culture where you give like constructive feedback, or where you like go straight to the point and talk about something that is personal, because typically I assume your culture is something that you keep at home, not in a workplace. So ada like dikit malu, or like, you know,
Tersinggung.
yeah. So how do you manage that with like your Balinese people, basically?
It's very interesting. So I haven't found like hard times to sharing this kind of a principle to my team. They're very excited, you know, as I think the way I explain to them is in a fun and then also nice approach, and giving some example.
Right.
Because as me looking at like a figure as a Balinese, I'm Balinese, and I'm growing up Hindus. I respect my religion and culture, but this kind of principle I got it from West side, you know, through like neuroscientists, and then also Buddhism, and I apply to my day-to-day basis, you know. But again, like to understand my culture as a Balinese or Hindus, this is something that I've been taught since day one, you know. And okay, you have to go to a temple, you have to pray 3 times a day, without telling me like what's the purpose of doing this. And then I guess like the approach me to my team is telling the purpose, you know, and they becoming open, you know. Again, like it's I haven't got any problem so far sharing about this information to my team, you know, and so far they're very open to it, and they're so excited, and then they committed to make themselves better.
Okay. Have you tested this in like other cultures, like maybe non-Balinese, like maybe,
Oh yeah,
I don't know,
I got
like a
I got
Malaysian
Muslim,
or a Singaporean
I
or
got Muslim, I got
different faiths?
yeah, I got like Muslim, and also I've been training a few different companies as well
Yeah.
about this topic. So if you aware about the brand called Expat Coffee Roaster, I've been training the whole team of Expat and sharing this kind of information. I guess the performance of the team is becoming more better, and then they're so grateful for this training, because yeah, this is the truth, I guess, and I would like to share this to all of especially in a hospitality industry people about the truth,
Yeah.
because this is the fundamental. It's before the skill, before concept, before creative ideas, and before investment. This is the fundamental
Right.
that we need to share.
Right. The essence, the truth.
This is the truth.
Okay. Powerful. Take that note, everyone at home. Thank you so much. Let's move on. Is it the same question?
No, it's two different questions.
Yes, for Dewa and Wahyu, can you give an example of your personalized wellness experience for your customers? So this one goes back to what you have designed in terms of campaigns for within your project or your hotels.
Yeah, like I said, we also have two wellness resorts under our branch, Blue Karma Dijiwa in Ubud and in Seminyak. We are responding on the consumer behaviors. They demand personalized travel offerings, including activities. Like I say, in my hotels, we don't have any rules basically. So it curated based on the persona, from what you have. I mean, I don't say we have almost everything's there, but from yoga, sound healings, even we also have like art wellness now. You do wellness through art, dancing, paintings, and we have also the wellness master for that. That's something new for our clientele, Even we have like 3 days, 7 days, 8 days, 21 days detox wellness programs, I call it hardcore wellness, So sometimes we also can guarantee, you can lose your 2 to 5 kilos, within 21 days.
Oh, wow.
We work with Ayurvedic doctor from Kerala as well, designing that programs. So basically, yeah, I don't have a standard for that. Okay, we try to implement, yes, I can attitude, meaning that, when you fill up our forms, you put your preferences there. Yes, I can.
Right.
So basically, that's what we do, in our resorts.
That sounds good. Preferences,
Exactly.
based on what their interests, their needs, what they're looking for in their holidays. That makes a lot of sense because then you get to like basically design it and personalize
Exactly
based on what they need.
Yeah, even shopping itinerary, we put that on the program because shopping bring a beautiful experiences, especially for ladies.
Retail therapy.
That's wellness, I mean, we broaden up even serving as well,
Yeah.
So it's not really yoga, meditation.
Yeah.
So wellness is for me, for us, is like whatever make you happy.
Absolutely. It is.
Drinking wine is wellness. When you're happy, what else do you need?
Exactly.
No need to spend sometimes.
Yeah.
Doing meditation.
Yeah.
But if you love to do, then do that.
Yeah.
When you get drunk, also you're happy.
Yeah.
So that's wellness for me.
Big takeaway.
You see, that's how I see things. Because I try to challenge the status quo,
Yeah.
Even I'm operating my hotels, I try to challenge the status quo.
Yeah. Basically.
Maybe not everyone agree with me, but again, that's how we see things.
No, that's important. I mean, that's the only way to make it more inclusive, to not over-define wellness and make it seem like it needs to be certain ways, whereas like it's subjective. Wellness is whatever you're happy with.
Same, I like tattoos, it takes like 6.5 hours.
I have a giant.
So I'm in the form of trance a little bit because I cannot handle the pain,
Yeah.
So is that wellness?
Right.
Because you talk to yourself and fight yourselves, and finally when it's finished, then super relieved and you're super happy.
Fair enough. Thank you for that tattoo analogy. Okay. Is there anything you want to add, Dewa, that you've done for the customers through your team?
I think
I know you're very people focused, like your wellness is very much with your team, but is there
Yeah.
anything that you've done with Yuki, Mano, or even with the upcoming
that's
project?
what you explain. A wellness we can divide into what? Happiness.
Mm.
So I guess through food and drinks,
Yeah, in the menus,
Yeah,
in the
yeah, when
service,
you
the way
operate.
you treat people.
Correct. And then also having a balance of the menu. It's not only the naughty stuff,
It's the good
also
stuff.
thinking about like fresh and also nourishing, wholesome and stuff like that,
Right.
And
That's
also
good.
the drink offer as well. So we play around with the fermentation stuff. It's very good for the gut,
Right, right.
Yeah,
So
things
you
like kombucha and then also like fermentation jackfruits, things like that. So yeah.
okay, so you incorporate like your local knowledge of what is good for the physical body into your menu development, which
Yeah.
is important essentially for guests these days who are a little
Yeah.
bit more concerned about how they
Yeah.
care for their bodies,
Yeah.
even on holidays.
Mhm,
I think
mhm.
that's important.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That makes sense. Thank
Yeah.
you, both of
Thank
you.
you.
All right, next question for both again. I think soon we will have a question for Mark. Oh, there's a question for Nas later. How do you convince investors and partners who are typically profit focused to put more time and resources into wellness initiatives? That's a good one because a lot of times you have to deal with investors or decision makers who, yeah, wellness, good, but let's talk about the money here. I've got X amount of budget and this is my target. That's all I need to know. And so how do you convince them that it's something important
Well,
fit into your strategy,
well, looks, I mean, this is common question also, I mean, again, on how you define wellness itself, the investment that you put to build a wellness facilities, if you focus only on products, then you put a lot of money to invest on that. But depends on how you define your wellness and put that on the program to support you, to support your top lines, which is your revenue streams.
Right.
Correct? Building a spa is not expensive. Building spa is expensive, sorry.
Yeah, of course.
But running a spa is not expensive. Cost of goods sold for spa range only from 4 to 7%. Okay, looks, the oil, for instance, it's super cheap, Virgin coconut oil, I come from Tejakula, north of Bali. It cost me only 50,000 one bottle, but I can use it for 100 customers. And I charge you like $100 because I say I'm using a virgin coconut oil from Tejakula, put a lot of storytelling there, beautiful, which is that's true. Okay, that I see running a spa.
Right.
It's not expensive, but build and put investment of that, yes, that's expensive, but it depends against, Because investor always say, when I put X, what Y,
Yeah.
and how you get the Y,
Yeah.
See, by implementing that, and force our creativity in creating our concepts, really matters basically.
Of course.
So investors easily will take that because we also have, of course, we have sets of financial feasibility study as well for that, But again, as far as my experiences, wellness department incomes range from 76 to 80%. It's beautiful numbers.
Right. Okay.
So by see that number, they will say yes.
Yeah.
But it's based on the experiences.
Yeah, it requires you to be resourceful and to localize how you implement the initiatives in a sense, because then your cost is low and you can basically justify to the investors that it's wellness, but then it doesn't cost much, and yet the value and the experience brings you returns, So
But again, like the destination I just told you just now about the mindfulness living, we try to bring the customer to do back our less traveled roads activities through wellness, For instance, we don't bring them to like Tirta Empul or Tampak Siri. That's too touristy.
Yeah.
it won't cost us a lot of money to set the programs, but we can sell even higher.
Right.
So it's depend on how your creativity work on these programs,
Okay, that makes sense. All right, thank you. Let's move on because we still have a lot of questions and time is running up. Question from Gendis: which market will see the sustainable hotel, and is that really matter for them to decide to stay in a hotel with a sustainability program? This question is for any one of you want to take it?
Well, yeah, I think
I'm not running hotel, but
I think well, maybe I'll take this.
yeah, please, yeah.
Because looks, no, we require to put what sustainable and environmentally friendly programs when we are working with a big wholesaler, especially in Europe. Yeah, but of course, it's not only apply for Europeans country only. It's applied to almost all countries. But yes, the answer is yes and no. In terms of does it really matters for them to decide in the hotel with a sustainability program? No, the answer is yes and no.
If I may add to that, I think from our own studies of trends in markets and basing it on different countries, it definitely depends on what market you're trying to target. So maybe, like you said, European market, but not all Europe cares about sustainability. So if your plan is to target Europe and you're trying to appeal to them for the sake of sustainability, maybe try to understand a little bit more about what they like. Essentially, not just try and fit it in for the sake of fitting it in. That's what I would think as well.
No, that's true. That's true, Nadzirah.
And I think it goes to the next question as well. How do we grab the market from a marketing perspective? I mean, what would you say would be important in terms of this sustainable? I mean, more and more hotels are trying to build sustainability programs, but like, is it important, or like, is this what the audience wants? Like, what do you think from a marketing standpoint?
I think from a marketing standpoint, data doesn't lie. We do a lot of social listening and we know what consumers are interested in. And sustainability is definitely a factor, but it is differing not only from your location, but economics, meaning your purchasing power. So if you're of a high end, you're upper middle class, it matters to you more, but maybe the lower income or middle class, they don't really care as much. So going back to which market or how do we grab the market, I would say, I throw it back at you and say, okay, which market?
Yeah.
And then we can have a deeper understanding of how we can approach that. Because the truth is, different markets have different needs. And I'm sure you guys know that.
No, that's true. That's true.
So curating, like he says, personalizing it definitely works. If we're talking specifically about sustainability, be on top of understanding, I think using tools like social listening, and you don't have to pay for these things. These are all like online and you can do a lot of research. But having a team that dedicates their time to understanding what people feel right now through customer service, feedback, and all that will really help impact how you build your business as a whole in general. So.
Yeah, if I may add that, we have a trend now, we call it like a slow travel.
Yeah.
So people want to travel slow, meaning that they reducing the carbon emissions, so they want to travel domestically.
Yeah.
So that's sustainable travel as well. Then we can target that as well,
Definitely, I agree.
Okay, beautiful.
And put that little storytelling on that.
Of course, that's where the marketing comes in, the storytelling. We bring the story
That's
out.
Nadzirah things,
Question for Nats. From an agency perspective, how do you introduce or convince clients about societal marketing as they also have their own target, which focuses on sales?
So, so on the perspective, like if I talk to a client and say, hey, you need to focus on societal marketing. So I think, again, going back to the data doesn't lie, we always create reports and trend reports, essentially, to see specific topics, whether it's specifically not just about sustainability. It could be sustainability on architecture. It could be specifically about trash. Or rivers, saving the rivers. So depending on the geolocation of the particular property, what we do to convince clients is to show them, look, essentially people are interested and they care about these things, and then we do competitive analysis to show them how other of their competitors in their hotels and we tell them, look, your competitors are very actively talking about this, and their share of voice in the market is stronger. For that reason, that just essentially justifies to the client that they need to pay attention to these efforts. So that's kind of how we do it, in order for them to understand. Going back to, again, the data really, like, as you show the data, you can't, deny it, so.
Can you explain a little bit about this share of voice and what it is and what it means for like hotels?
So I mean, like when we use social listening tools, we're gathering data from millions of websites, forums, TripAdvisor, comments from articles in newspapers, or even social media, so Instagram, Twitter, you name it. We have access to that information, and we compile it and put it in a beautiful chart and explain to the clients, this is what we are gathering on various channels, and we can break them down to the geolocation, what kind of keywords they want to know. So that essentially gets the client understanding that brand positioning is so important, depending on the keywords they're interested in.
Right.
Essentially.
Okay, so hotels need to basically also know the kinds of keywords that they want to target.
And we have the technology for that, basically. We call it online reputation management that can tell us the semantic and geolocation based on the review that we receive from all across channel, especially online channel like Google's, even Facebook, social media, OTAs, TripAdvisors. So maybe by combining this, initiative, we can have a better perspective on what market we are targeting and what we need to improve based on those comments.
Correct, because the thing about data is everyone can scrap data, but the magic in data is being able to analyze and evaluate. So it's great to have all these tools and get all these data reports, but who's the one analyzing and making decisions from them? For example, from your hotel,
so basically,
is that you, or do you have
no
a brain person there? Because someone needs to know what to do with the data, right?
So we put that on the shoulder of line managers. Basically, they have an access for that.
Line managers,
like automation, meaning also happening in background process, like PMS, property management system. I can access all my hotels here from my mobile phones, basically, from revenue, from the guests, whatsoever. It's very easy now, because we do the automation on that. And line manager also can access that on their mobile phone as well, because they have online reputation management set up in their mobile phone. So every single comment, real times, from across the channels, they can see straight away, including the score, including the semantic, negatives, neutral, and positives. So we know what to improve based on that.
Right. Okay, great. Sounds like technology is basically the solution, but also being able to know how to use the technology is the next thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to our questions. So we have time for one more question. Question to Naz from Bilal.
Yeah.
What is the best practice holistic approach of revenue management and its relation to agile marketing?
So the thing is with holistic approach is that a lot of upper management, it's not to say that they fail to see it, it's just that at the moment they can't understand how marketing is everything, like how I said earlier, everything matters, because they always question the revenue part. And so, as I mentioned earlier, when it comes to growth or revenue management, what we have seen is that because compared to 50 years ago, your intangible assets, which is basically brand, how people talk about you, which is share of voice, reviews, things that are word of mouth, discussion-wise matters. In terms of say agile marketing, that connection is that the higher the value of your intangible assets, meaning how much more people are talking about you, how much more the voice of your brand is being visible across integrated marketing strategies. At the end of the day, your business will then have much more revenue opportunities, because people are just perpetually talking about you. Again, going back to the example of Apple, whenever Apple creates a strategy under holistic marketing approach, they think of course, the revenue, but they also understand that because of intangible assets being the thing that makes people feel connected to the brand, agile marketing, I would say, is sort of a reactive style of marketing, which isn't a bad idea, but that should only work if something's not working. So again, this goes back to then, if you're doing holistic marketing strategy, you need to plan based on knowing what your intention is for the whole period of time. Say Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, or like the whole year. What is the big picture plan? So on speaking to management, upper management, my advice is usually like, look at the big umbrella of your brand, first and foremost, understand what you're about. And then when it comes to the quarters, plan it according to, number one, your projections, but also the fact that your messaging is clear so that you don't have to do agile marketing and that it's streamlined. But that being said, there are hundreds of styles of marketing. And if you're specifically asking about agile marketing, it should only occur if you realize that your strategy is not working, you know?
So that's reactive.
Yeah, so you can be reactive, but ideally, you know, not too reactive, because you might be jumping the gun and you don't have enough data to justify that was the wrong thing to do. But there should be enough data that you gather at some point and say, no, this is not working. But sometimes what I notice is that most people who try out marketing, especially when it comes to investing dollars and cents in ads and things like that, they shy away too quick from investment because they want to see immediate results. And this is something that we advise to our clients when it comes to investment in any of these intangible assets. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint, you know? So remember that you're looking at it as a big picture strategy, not as, you know, tiny wins. That's not the point. So yeah, that's my thought process.
That's beautiful.
Thank you, Nadzirah. It's all about basically big picture strategy thinking and also being able to identify those moments of decision where you realize that the strategy is not working. Because I think that's a hard thing to admit, right? At what point do managers or CEOs or owners basically say like, yeah, it's not working and it's time to switch and come up with a different solution? So being able to observe like the methods between what's being implemented and the actual results is definitely important. I think we basically have a quick one, last question. Few minutes for this last question. Basically, location is really affecting customers to stay with us. If we are far away from an interesting location, what kind of marketing should we do? And I open it to all three of you. Who wants to take this? If location is a problem, you're not.
Well, I had experience. I just take only a few minutes, few seconds, basically. Had experience to run the hotels. You know, owners from New Zealand, you know, tend to sell the hotel after 8 years in operating. It doesn't work because it located far away, you know, near Kintamani, you know. No aircon. Okay, no TV. Okay, and they sell like 6 million per night in beautiful setting. So we came there. We are quite lucky, you know. Why? We know many mega key opinion leaders, KOL. So we bring them there. So they start to make the visibility because the issue is visibility. But again, in our business, location will ensure our 50% business plan achieved, you know. I will not be able to answer on correct way, but I just read new book of Seth Godin, The Purple Cow. Maybe that's the answer. Just read the book, you can find the answers.
Seth Godin?
Purple Cow.
Okay.
We see a lot of cows, you know, along the roads, and that's make a boring, you know, scenery, you know, even you are in New Zealand. But again, turn out one purple cow, and that's really change your minds, you know, because finally that purple cow becoming not only unique selling propositions, but on how you see that as holistic marketing.
Right.
I don't have time to explain that, but read the book Purple Cow. You're gonna have a new insight to answer these questions.
If location is an issue and you're struggling to bring people to you, one of the strategies is influencer marketing. But perhaps, do you have anything to add on like how to make it effective? Because everyone hears about influencer marketing. In fact, it's such a trendy word, but how do you make it work, right?
So that taps into actually what I wanted to add is we actually have a client like this. Their location, they're in Japan, but their location is not in the heart of this tourism area called Niseko. So they're like kind of outside Niseko, but you can get a car and go there. But that at the end of the day, that doesn't make them central, which makes them not necessarily the preferred choice of destination to stay in. They would rather stay in the heart of Niseko where they're near the ski resorts, right? But the way we position the content is that we ensure that we tap into the local businesses. So the stakeholders, right? We talked about this whole relationship marketing. So we build our strategy around influencing it through people who are within the area, telling the story of this ramen shop, this sushi chef, or that girl that sells groceries and flowers, so that we tap into this little town that's just close to that hotel, but it has a charm. And because we tell their stories and, we co-promote them on our platform, they too feel obliged to talk about the brand to the locals who are, wandering around there. So it becomes like an organic community that actually believes in, being part of this ecosystem of this little small town called Kuchan. So I think as if your location is not that exciting, look around you. I'm sure there are stories you can tell about your neighbors, the businesses that are around there. And you could curate little experiences that make them feel that they're connected to the community. So that's kind of my input on that.
I agree. Basically, influencer marketing is more than just inviting a popular Instagram
That's true.
person who takes great photos to come to your hotel and snap some photos. It's also about digging deeper within the demographics and the location, and to identify like the actual people who are there. Those are your influencers. That's your community, basically. So I think that's a beautiful wrap up to our wonderful discussion. We're basically going to thank our speakers for being here. You guys can basically go back to your seats. Thank you so much for contributing to this amazing discussion. And thank you to everyone who gave like their questions, their comments. I think that was definitely productive, and we addressed like various aspects of today's topic. So with that, we have come to the end of our union today. We really hope that you found value in today's conversations, and more importantly, that you learned something new. That's the only mission we have today. Our hope is for you to take that knowledge and inspiration and hopefully pass it on to the next person, be it at work or at home, because you never know how it might support another person's journey, right? So what happens now? Well, our community is here for you. We're a collective of marketers made by marketers for marketers. Without my team and everyone, today would not be possible. So we work through connections where, we hopefully would like to offer our expertise and our skills to like our partners in whether in work or in life, right? There's two aspects to our community. And so whether you're a sage, so a sage is perceived as a mentor who wants to guide or help someone else in their life or work. So you could be a professional, an expert, a CEO, a director, whatever, or you could just be anyone that wants to make time to help someone, right? Whereas if you're a seeker is perceived as mentees. They are the ones that are basically looking for support in their personal journey or basically help in their respective work. There's always a way for anyone to experience the discipline of unselfish actions through karma marketing. And so if you feel a calling to contribute, we're always open to partner with anyone that resonates with our mission and vision. Basically to empower others through circular kindness. And we have various programs lined up for the rest of the year, whether it's for a one-on-one or a small to large group learning and exchange sessions like what you experienced today. And these are basically our pillars. But basically, you'll be receiving a follow-up email from all of us. So you get that in your inbox. feel free to tell your friends, your colleagues, your family, or anyone who might resonate with Karma Marketing's initiatives. Next, before we go, please do us the biggest favor by going back into your Slido to take like a super quick survey. And this can be done at your own time. I'm not even going to wait for you. You can just fill up 4 easy questions so that we know how we did, and more importantly, how we can improve for our next event. So now that we've come to an end to today's session, we would like to just take a moment to thank our venue provider, Lighthouse Studio, and their team. Without them, all this crazy, amazing setup wouldn't be possible. You guys don't know what we did to make this available, be it here in person as well as online. So thanks to the skills and the talents. And then I would also like to thank our attendees who actually made it through the traffic to be here physically with us. And more importantly, to our speakers who imparted knowledge to us today. And that's that. Thank you all for being here, and you'll be hearing from us. If you plan to give us a shout out on socials next. Yeah, we're gonna look at your answers later, just because. Thank you for joining, and remember, if you want to give us a shout out on socials, just find us on Instagram at @karmamarketing_. And take care. We'll see you soon for the next event. Thanks.